Earth had been silent for a very long time. Across the galaxy, every major alliance and every old empire had sent messages toward the small blue planet in the Sol system. They waited for a reply that never came. The Galactic Concord, a great gathering of many species, sent invitation after invitation. They sent bright pulses of quantum light, tuned to be easy for any young civilization to understand. But Earth never answered. The silence became a strange legend among the stars. Some believed Earth had destroyed itself long ago. Others thought the species living there simply did not care. A few said Earth was ignoring the galaxy on purpose. But the truth was simple. Earth had no idea anyone was calling. When Earth finally discovered the truth, everything changed. The change began in the Siberian Plateau. Deep under the ice and rock, a large research base held a team that worked day and night. They scanned deep space, running new sensors that could detect unusual signals. One morning, Jay sat at his console, watching lines of data. He was young but sharp, with the calm eyes of someone who enjoyed solving puzzles. At first, he thought the sudden burst of readings was a system error. "You should look at this," Jay said softly. Dayun walked over to him. She was the diplomatic architect of the mission, trained to understand first contact, even though humanity had never expected real aliens. She leaned closer to his screen. "Is that a natural signal?" she asked. "No," Jay answered. "Someone has been sending messages to Earth for hundreds of years. A lot of them. But we never saw them until now." Dayun stared in silence. The signals were old but clear. They carried structures that could not be natural. They carried intent, she whispered, so we were never alone. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Concord Hall, Myron Thau, a tall and graceful diplomat from a species known for their calm logic, studied a new image captured by their long-range sensors. She expected movement from familiar civilizations. Instead, she found something new, something that should not have been there. 1,000 small objects hovered at the edge of Concord space. Each device had sharp, black surfaces and bright warning lights. They looked like silent guards. They pulsed with messages, but not in any known language. They appeared at the border out of nowhere. Mirain's voice shook as she sent the image to every delegate. "A new fleet has entered the border. They are not attacking, but they are watching us." In the command array beneath Siberia, alarms rang throughout the base. Earth had launched the probes. They were meant to protect the planet while humanity learned the truth about the galaxy. Each probe carried advanced sensors and an alert system. If anything came close, the probes would warn Earth. This decision came from Heron, the tactical overseer of the project. Heron believed Earth needed time. Time to learn, time to prepare, and time to understand who might be friend or foe. "We cannot appear weak," Heron had said. "We cannot appear aggressive either. These probes will only warn. They will not attack unless they detect a direct threat." Now the probes floated far from home, each sending a warning to the galaxy. "Earth sees you." "Earth is awake now." Jay watched the live feed with a mix of pride and fear. "They will know we exist," he said quietly. Dayun nodded. "They already know. The question is how they will react." The moment the probes appeared, a wave of confusion spread through the Concord. No one had expected Earth to respond like this. They thought Earth was weak or primitive. Instead, the silent planet had suddenly revealed technology equal to or stronger than many great powers. Myron Thal spoke first during the emergency meeting. "We have contacted Earth again. This time, we hope they answer." Earth did answer, but not with the smooth elegance of ancient civilizations. The connection that formed was shaky. Static cut through the transmission. The humans were nervous. A group of representatives from Earth appeared on the screen. They stood in a bright, white room filled with equipment. Dayun stepped forward, forcing a steady expression. "This is Earth," she said. "We did not ignore your messages. We never received them until recently." Myron watched her closely. The human woman's words felt honest. Her simple tone showed confusion rather than arrogance. Dayun continued, "We launched the probes because we did not know who was calling us. We needed to protect ourselves while we learned the truth." Many delegates whispered among themselves. They had never seen a species that reached space alone. Every known civilization had help or guidance. Yet humans had advanced without any outside support. They built computers, engines, weapons, and star systems without borrowing ideas. One delegate finally spoke. "Why send warnings before greetings?" The humans hesitated. Jay whispered something to Heron. Heron stepped closer and spoke firmly. "Because we grew alone. Everything unknown was a danger to us. We learned to prepare before we speak." Myron felt something shift inside her. She understood the tone behind Heron's words. Earth was not threatening the galaxy. Earth was afraid of it. After the meeting, the probes continued to hover at the border. Their warning lights were bright, but their weapons remained silent. The galaxy watched them very carefully. On Earth, the command array felt tense. Every scientist, officer, and diplomat understood the risk. If Earth made one mistake, the galaxy might see humanity as a threat. Dayun stood beside Jay as they reviewed incoming messages. "They are trying to understand us," she said, "and we are trying to understand them," Jay replied. Earth had stepped into a much larger world one, filled with old alliances, dangerous rivals, and ancient traditions. They had missed every meeting for hundreds of years. Now they were here, with 1,000 alert probes shining like bright stars. For the first time in history, Earth was no longer silent, and the galaxy was listening. The 1,000 probes continued to float at the edge of Concord space, each one blinking its careful warning. Their signals were simple but strong, and every ship that passed near them slowed down or stopped completely. Rumors spread across the galaxy faster than light. Many species wondered how a planet that never replied to any messages for centuries could suddenly send such advanced devices so far from home. Inside the Galactic Concord Hall, the atmosphere grew tense. Delegates filled the wide room, their voices layered with confusion. Holographic images of the Earth probes rotated in the center of the hall. They were strange, sharp machines built with a design style no one had seen before. Their dark metal surface looked almost alive. Ambassador Veleth from the Arkan Fold finally spoke. He was tall and thin, with long silver eyes that narrowed when he was frustrated. "These alerts are not greetings," he said. "They are warnings. Why would Earth warn us before introducing itself?" Many delegates murmured in agreement, and their voices echoed across the hall. Myron Thal rose from her seat. She had been watching Earth very closely. She spoke calmly, as she always did. "We must remember that Earth developed without help from any known civilization. They grew alone. This may be the reason their first reaction is caution." Veleth frowned. "Caution is acceptable. 1,000 warnings are not." Back on Earth, in the deep Siberian command array, the situation was very different. People moved quickly between stations, checking screens and reading reports. The giant central display showed the Concord's response, including the confusion and suspicion growing among alien delegates. Heron stood in the center of the room. He watched the screens with a serious expression. "We need to adjust the probes," he said. "They look too aggressive. We never designed them to appear friendly, but the tone must change." Jay nodded and started typing commands into his console. "I can soften the alert visuals," he said. "I can make the lights less sharp and reduce the intensity of the warning pulses." Dayun checked the diplomatic feed. "They think we are threatening them," she said. We need to speak again soon. They need to understand we are learning as we go. When the transmission connected again, the Concorde saw the three humans standing together, Dayun in front, Herine and Jay behind her. The image flickered slightly, but the connection held. Dayun took a breath and spoke clearly. This is Earth. We understand your concerns. Our alerts are not attacks. They are safety devices. We launched the probes to protect our world while we learn about yours. The hall grew quiet. Myron Thal stepped forward. Earth, she said, your technology is impressive. But your message causes fear. Why send so many probes at once? Dayun looked briefly at Heron, then answered. We sent many because we feared we were late. We missed centuries of communication. We did not know how much time we had to prepare. Veleth spoke again. Your silence created a mystery for us. Now your sudden action creates uncertainty. How much do you know? How much have you learned on your own? Heron stepped forward this time. We know only what we discovered ourselves. We did not hide from you. We did not hear you. Our history was shaped by our own struggles. Every danger we faced alone. So we learned to prepare first and speak second. This answer created a shift in the room. The delegates exchanged looks. They understood the idea of a species growing alone. But they did not understand how a young world could reach such power without any outside support. Myron finally asked, Earth, did no one guide you? Did no one visit you? Did you never meet any star traveler in your long history? Jay shook his head. No, if someone visited, we never saw them. We believed the universe was empty. We thought we were the only ones. Whispers filled the hall once again. It was rare, almost unheard of, that a planet reached advanced spaceflight by itself. Most civilizations had allies or mentors. Earth had none. After the transmission ended, the Concorde Hall erupted into debate. Some species felt admiration for Earth. Others felt unease. A few felt threatened. Ships continued to hover near the probes. The probes reacted carefully, adjusting their position with slow, smooth movements. They did not fire. They did not chase. They did not block. They simply watched. In one corner of the galaxy, a Roland Dominion cruiser drifted too close to one of the probes. Its commander, a strict and proud officer named Sarek, believed the probe was weak. He thought the device would back away. Instead, the probe activated a protective field. A bright barrier wrapped around the cruiser, holding it in place. Alarms screamed in the Concorde Hall. Delegates stood from their seats. Earth has attacked. Someone shouted Myra and shook her head. No, the probe is responding to a threat. On Earth, the alert reached the command array instantly. Red lights flashed across the control room. Jay stared at the readings. The probe was touched by the cruiser's shield. It thinks the ship is trying to capture it. Dayun put her hand on her forehead. We need to fix this before it gets worse. Heron pointed to Jay. Release the cruiser. Override the probe. Do it now. Jay typed rapidly, sending a direct command across the stars. The probe received the signal and dropped the field. The cruiser spun slightly, confused but unharmed. A new transmission opened. Sang, Earth's chosen envoy for first contact, stepped into the frame. He had not spoken yet in any previous meeting. His calm expression and steady voice surprised the Concorde. There was no attack, Sang said. Only fear. Our probes defend themselves when touched. We did not intend to trap your ship. We apologize. The hall fell silent. Sang continued. We are new to this. We are learning. Please understand that we do not want conflict. We only want safety while we learn who you are. Myron closed her eyes for a moment. She felt the honesty behind Sang's words. She nodded slowly. The incident with the cruiser became the center of many conversations for the rest of the day. For some species, it was proof that Earth was careful, not hostile. For others, it was proof that Earth could be dangerous without meaning to. Back on Earth, the team rested for a moment. The crisis had not turned into war. Jay sat down heavily in his chair. That could have been much worse, he said. Da-Yun nodded. We need to work harder. We need to understand their rules. Heron crossed his arms. And we need to show them we are not weak. But we must also show them we are not reckless. The next hours were filled with messages from the Concorde. Some were angry, some were cautious, and a few were curious. Earth had become the center of attention. The 1,000 probes continued to shine at the border. Their lights flashed with a softer glow now, adjusted by Jay's careful programming. They still sent alerts, but the message felt less sharp. In the Galactic Concorde Hall, Myron watched them on a large screen. Earth is trying, she whispered. They just need time. For the first time, the galaxy understood that Earth's silence had not been arrogance. It had been isolation. And now, Earth was no longer isolated. It had arrived in the galaxy with caution, strength, and fear all at once. The galaxy watched, waiting to see what the humans would do next. The galaxy remained tense after the incident with the Rollin cruiser. Ships continued to stay far from Earth's probes, and many watched them with fear. The 1,000 alerts glowed like red stars against the dark border of Concorde space. No one knew what Earth would do next, and that uncertainty spread across every alliance and empire. Inside the Concorde Hall, arguments grew louder every day. Some species wanted to pull back their fleets until Earth made its intentions clear. Others wanted to send observers to study the probes. A few, mostly from proud military powers, wanted to send warships to show strength. Mirin Thal felt tired as she listened to debates. She had been trying to convince the Concorde to stay calm. Earth was new, nervous, and alone. They needed patience, not pressure, but not everyone agreed. Ambassador Rikel from the Dominion stood and raised his voice. Earth trapped one of our cruisers. Even if it was an accident, the threat is real. Their devices act without their control. How can we trust a species that sends weapons it cannot manage? Myran replied calmly. They managed it. They released your ship in seconds. They apologized with honesty. They are willing to learn. Rikel crossed his arms. Too dangerous. Too unpredictable. The room filled with tense murmurs. Back on Earth, the command array remained just as tense. Jay, Dae-Yoon, Heron, and Sang worked together almost without rest. Every message from the Concorde had to be read, understood, and answered carefully. One wrong word could create a misunderstanding that led to war. Sang sat at the communication desk, reviewing the latest wave of concerns. They want to know how the probes decide when to defend themselves, he said. We can show them, Jay replied. I can send the logic structure. It's simple. It reacts only when touched or attacked. Dae-Yoon shook her head. Sharing too much too fast could make us look weak. Some species might try to copy our technology. Heron agreed. We need to find balance. Enough information to build trust, but not enough to put Earth at risk. Sang rubbed his forehead. This would be easier if they trusted us. But they don't know us at all. The next transmission from the Concorde opened unexpectedly. Myrin Thal's face appeared on the screen. She looked worried. Earth, she said softly. We have a situation. Dae-Yoon stepped forward. What happened? A small group of independent explorers has taken action, Myrin replied. They flew too close to one of your probes. They were trying to test it. The probe reacted. Jay's heart dropped. How badly? The explorers are not harmed, Myrin said quickly, but their ship is unable to move. Your probe has placed a stabilizing field around it. Heron's jaw tightened. Again, they keep touching the probes. They act surprised when the probes defend themselves. Sang nodded. We should release them immediately. Jay? Jay sent the override command. The probe responded quickly, lifting the field. But this time, the ship did not move. Dayun frowned. Are they damaged? No, Myri answered. They are refusing to move. They believe your probe tried to capture them. They are demanding compensation. Jay covered his face with his hands. This galaxy is worse than Earth's politics. Sang tried to stay calm. Tell them we did not intend harm. The field is only a safety measure. We can assist them if they need help. I already told them this, Myrain said. They believe you are hiding your true strength. They think the probes are more dangerous than you admit. The command array fell silent. Then Dayun spoke quietly. This will keep happening. The probes scare them, and scared people make bad choices. Heron sighed. But without the probes, we are exposed. We cannot remove them. Sang looked at all of them. We need a new idea. Something that shows we want peace, but does not weaken us. Jay turned back to his console, deep in thought. Maybe we can create a new mode for the probes. Something that shows curiosity instead of caution. A peaceful mode. A form of introduction. Dayun's eyes brightened. Yes, not warnings. Not defenses. Something that says we are here to learn. Heron hesitated. Will it still protect us? Jay nodded. Yes, it will only change how the probes look and act. They will not feel as sharp. They will move slower. Their lights will shift from red to blue or white. They will send a message of interest, not fear. Sang looked hopeful. Will the Concord understand this? Dayun smiled a little. We can explain it. And Myron will help the others understand. Jay pressed several keys, opened deep control menus, and added a new behavioral code. The probes accepted the update one by one. Their sharp red lights faded and shifted to a gentle pale blue. Their movements slowed. Their alert pulses softened into gentle waves. In the Concord Hall. The reaction was immediate. Delegates gasped as the probes changed color on the central display. Are they powering down? Someone asked. No, Myron said. They are showing peace. Rikil frowned. How do you know? Because Earth told us they would try to communicate in a new way. Myron replied. The hall filled with discussion as species tried to understand the meaning of the new signals. Mira N requested another meeting with Earth. This time, the connection opened quickly and smoothly. She smiled lightly at the humans. You changed your probes. Sang nodded. We want you to know that we are not here to start conflict. We want safety, but we also want peace. Dayun added, we hope this gesture helps you understand that we are willing to adapt. We are not here to frighten anyone. Myrian looked at them for a long moment. You have made progress today. Some here still fear you, but many are beginning to see your intentions. Jay leaned closer to the screen. What will happen next? Myron sighed. More debates, more fear, but also more hope. Your actions today created a bridge, small but real. It will take time for some to trust you, but others are ready to learn more. After the transmission ended, Dayun sat down slowly. That was better than I expected. Heron nodded. If the probes keep sending peaceful signals, maybe the galaxy will stop assuming the worst. Jay smiled weakly. At least until someone else bumps into them again. Sang looked over the entire room. We have taken a big step. Not perfect, but important. Outside Earth, far across the stars, the 1,000 probes now drifted like calm blue lanterns. They still watched the galaxy, but with a softer presence. The galaxy, in turn, watched back with new eyes. The fear did not vanish, but curiosity began to grow beside it. For the first time, the galaxy saw Earth not as a silent threat, but as a nervous newcomer trying to do the right thing. It was not peace yet, but it was the beginning of understanding. The galaxy slowly adjusted to the new appearance of Earth's probes. Their blue lights and slow movements made them look calm and gentle. They no longer seemed like sharp warnings. They appeared more like quiet watchers. The shift did not remove all fear, but it softened it. Inside the Concord Hall, the debates changed tone. Many delegates still worried about Earth, but now curiosity had become stronger than suspicion. Some species wanted to send peaceful messages. Others wanted to send their own probes to study Earth's technology. A few even suggested inviting Earth to join the Concord. Ambassador Riekel did not like these ideas. He still believed Earth was dangerous. A species that grows alone becomes unpredictable, he said. They did not learn from others. They learned only from their own struggles. Their minds may not follow our patterns. Myron Thal stood and replied gently. They learned alone because no one found them, not because they wanted to be alone. Now that they know we exist, they want to learn with us. That should count for something. Riekel pressed his hands on the table. They send 1,000 probes. They show technology no one taught them. They hide nothing, yet their strength is unknown. This is risk. Myron nodded. Yes, but fear will not help us understand them. We must speak with them more. We must give them a chance. A vote was held. The Concord agreed to open deeper communication with Earth and learn more about their goals. But they also agreed that Earth must show more trust. The galaxy wanted proof that Earth was not preparing for war. Back on Earth, the command array received the decision. The mood was mixed. Jay felt hopeful. Dayun felt nervous. Heron felt cautious. Sang tried to balance all of their feelings. This is good, Jay said. They want to talk more. That means things are improving. Dayun nodded slowly. Yes, but they want proof. They want us to show trust. That part scares me. We still do not know what dangers exist out there. Heron crossed his arms. We cannot be the first to lower our shields. That would put Earth at risk. Sang looked at all three of them. We need something that shows we are open, without giving away everything. Something that looks brave but not foolish. Jay leaned back in his chair, thinking. What if we invite them to visit? Dayun blinked. Visit Earth? No, Jay said. Not Earth. That is too risky. But we can build a meeting point. A place away from Earth, but still ours. A safe zone. Heron rubbed his chin. A neutral place. A controlled place. That could work. Sang smiled for the first time that day. We can invite the Concord to send observers. A small team. We meet them halfway. It will show we trust them enough to speak face to face. Dayun exhaled. Yes, that will show sincerity. And it will let us learn more about them. The team sent the proposal to the Concord. The message explained Earth's idea, a meeting point at the border, protected by a small number of probes, but open to peaceful ships. A place where humans and aliens could speak in person. The reaction in the Concord Hall was immediate. Many delegates were surprised. Some were excited. A few were scared. Riekel was angry. They want us to walk into their territory, Riekel said sharply. A trap, clearly a trap. Myron shook her head. They offered a place far from their home. They even limited their own security. This does not sound like a trap. Riekel glared. You trust them too easily. Myron looked at him sadly. No, I simply choose hope where you choose fear. The Concord voted again. After long debates, they agreed to send a small group of diplomats and observers. Myron Thal was chosen to lead them. When Earth received the acceptance message, Jay jumped from his chair. They agreed. He shouted. Yoon smiled. This is a big moment. Heron nodded. We must prepare the meeting site immediately. It must be safe. It must show respect. Sang looked at the three of them. And we must do it well. This will be the galaxy's first direct meeting with Earth. Earth began building the meeting station. It was not large, but it was beautiful in a simple way. Smooth metal walls, wide windows, and soft lights. Jay designed the communication systems. Yoon created the welcome protocol. Heron planned security. Sang prepared himself to speak for Earth. The station floated near the border, surrounded by only 10 probes instead of 1,000. This was Earth's gesture of trust. On the day of the meeting, a Concorde ship approached. Its silver hull reflected the blue light of Earth's probes. Inside the station, the humans stood together, waiting. Sang wore a calm expression, though his hands trembled slightly. Yoon stood beside him, steadying her breath. Jay checked his devices for the 10th time. Heron kept his eyes on the sensors. The Concorde ship docked. A soft hiss sounded as the air systems connected. The doors opened. Myron Thal stepped through first. Behind her came 2 other diplomats, a pair of scientists, and 1 cautious guard who looked around the room with wide eyes. Sang stepped forward and bowed slightly. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Myron bowed in return. Thank you for inviting us. This is a historic moment for both our worlds. Yoon smiled gently. We want peace. We want understanding. We want to learn. Myron looked at the humans with warm eyes. And we want the same. The meeting began. They spoke about history, culture, and science. The humans explained how Earth grew on its own. The aliens shared stories of old civilizations and past alliances. They all laughed at misunderstandings and leaned forward when listening to stories. Hours passed, and something unexpected happened. They began to trust each other. Jay and one of the alien scientists compared tools. Yoon and Myron shared ideas about diplomacy. Heron discussed security protocols with the Concorde Guard. Sang explained human behavior with honesty and patience. For the first time, Earth had true conversations with the galaxy. When the meeting ended, Myron spoke softly to Sang. Earth has shown bravery today. This step will change everything. Sang smiled. We hope it changes things for the better. Myron replied, It already has. The Concorde delegation left the station with hope instead of fear. As their ship glided away. Yoon whispered to herself, Maybe we really can be part of this galaxy. Heron nodded. If we keep choosing caution and honesty, maybe they will see us as partners. Jay smiled tiredly. And maybe no one will crash into our probes again. Sang looked out the window at the quiet blue lights of the nearby probes. Today was the beginning of something new. Earth had taken a bold step toward the galaxy, and the galaxy, for the first time, stepped toward Earth. Jay was quiet as he stood near the large window of the alien hall. He looked out at the many ships moving in slow paths across the dark sky. He felt the soft humming of the station under his feet. The meeting was over, but something inside him still felt heavy. He had spoken strong words, and many alien leaders had listened. But he knew the real test was not the speech. The real test would come now. Hannah walked toward him and stopped at his side. She looked at the sky, too. She did not say anything for a moment. She just breathed slowly, as if trying to settle her thoughts. Then she looked at Jay. You did well, she said quietly. Jay shook his head. I only said what we had to say. Words alone will not protect Earth. Now they will watch us. Some will fear us. Some will test us. Some will try to use us. He paused and looked at Hana. And some will hope we lead. That is the hardest part. Hana gave a small smile. Maybe, but you did not lie to them. You told them who we are. That is enough for now. Jay turned from the window and looked at the hall. Many alien leaders were still there, speaking in small groups, their voices soft and low. Some stared at the humans with quiet suspicion. Others looked curious. A few even looked relieved. The room held a strange mixture of fear and hope that Min Jun walked over to them with slow steps. His face was thoughtful. We will be invited to another round of discussions, he said. They want to know more about Earth. They want to know how we think and how we plan to act. Jay sighed. Of course they do. They want to measure us. Min Jun nodded. Yes, and some want to become our allies. They think we can help keep peace. They think we can stand between stronger empires and weaker worlds. Hannah looked at him. Do they want peace? Or do they just want protection? Both, Min Jun answered simply. Hannah let out a soft breath. This galaxy is complicated. Jay gave a tired smile. Yes, and now we are part of it, even if we never asked for it. For a moment, they all stood in silence. The station lights changed slowly through different colors, marking the time cycles. Soft drones floated by, cleaning and checking the hall. Then a soft chime rang. A tall alien figure approached them. It was the same elder who had spoken earlier. Its eyes glowed faint blue. Earth representatives, the elder said in a calm voice. Your presence here has changed many things. You have refused fear and refused silence. This is rare. There is respect for that. And there is caution too. But I must tell you that there is also danger. Some worlds will not welcome your strength. Some will want to challenge it. Jay bowed slightly. We understand. Earth has no wish to threaten anyone. But we will defend ourselves. The elder nodded. Yes, and your message was clear. Perhaps too clear for some. But clarity is better than shadows. The alien paused. There will be talks in the next cycle. More leaders will join. Some will test your patience. Others will try to trap you with questions. You must stay steady. Hana thanked the elder, and the alien walked away slowly. Min Jun turned to Jay. We will need a plan. We have one, Jay said. We stay honest. We stay calm. We stay watchful. Earth moved quietly for too long. Now everyone is looking at us. So we must walk carefully, but not in fear. They left the hall and walked through the station corridors. The walls glowed with soft lights and shifted colors as they walked past. Drones floated overhead. Doors opened and closed with gentle sounds. Strange creatures of many shapes moved through the halls, some floating, some walking, some rolling. Earth's small team felt the weight of every stair. When they reached their quarters, they sat down at a round table. The air smelled faintly like metal, and something sweet. Min Jun brought up a map of the galaxy on the table screen. Many bright points lit up. Lines connected some of them. Some areas glowed red. These are the regions where conflict may begin, he said. Hana looked at the map. So many. Yes, and now they will want our opinion on these matters, Min Jun said. Jay leaned back in his seat. We cannot solve their conflicts. Earth is new here, but we can offer ideas. We can show them another way to act, even if they do not follow it. Hana gave him a thoughtful look. Earth can become a voice of balance, a voice that says no to needless war. She paused. But we must never let them pull us into their fights. Agreed, Jay said. They continued planning late into the cycle. They discussed how to respond to questions, how to avoid traps, how to show strength without showing aggression. They talked about Earth's values and how to express them simply. When they finally rested, the station lights dimmed the next cycle. They woke early and prepared for the talks. Jay felt something pressing on his mind. He could not name it, but he knew it was important. Something had changed. Not in the station, not in the hall, but in himself. When they entered the meeting chamber, many new alien leaders were present. Some had dark, sharp eyes. Others had soft, glowing skin. Some had no visible eyes at all. The air was thick with tension. A large figure stepped forward. Its voice was deep. "Earth," it said, "your world has been unseen for so long. Now you arrive with strength. We want to know how you intend to use it." Jay stepped forward. His voice was steady. "Earth will use its strength to protect, not to control. We want peace between stars. We want our world to be safe. We want others to be safe too." A few aliens murmured. Some looked doubtful. Others looked relieved. Another leader spoke. "And what if someone tries to take from you? Then we will defend ourselves," Jay said. "But we will not be the first to raise a weapon." More voices filled the room. Questions came from every direction. Some were sharp, some polite, some meant to confuse. Jay answered slowly and calmly. Hannah added details when needed. Min Jun provided facts. Hours passed. The room grew warmer. Tension grew and softened again and again. Finally, the last question was asked. The deep-voiced leader stepped forward again. "Earth," it said, "you have spoken with calm and with honesty. We do not know if your world will be friend or rival in the future. But today, you have shown that you are not here to rule and not here to hide. This is enough for now." The alien bowed slightly. "The galaxy will watch Earth, but it will not fear Earth, not yet." Jay bowed in return. As the meeting ended, Hannah touched Jay's arm gently. "You were steady," she said. Jay smiled a little. "We were all steady." They walked out of the chamber. This time, the stairs felt different. Not full of fear, not full of distrust. Instead, they held something quieter, something like respect. Earth had finally arrived, and the galaxy was ready to listen.